Hi, everyone. My name is Barnali Mukherjee. Thanks for attending Microsoft Customer Success Day. I'm excited to speak to you today about supply chain. And what I want to talk to you about is how you can potentially reimagine your supply chain by leveraging the Microsoft Supply Chain Platform. My name is Barnali Mukherjee, and I'm a product management and growth leader within the product engineering group within Microsoft. So for today, in today's session, I wanted to talk about a few things, give you a little bit of a background as to why we titled it as such, with Supply Chain Reimagined, and tell you about an event that we recently had. Also, wanted to talk to you about our Microsoft Supply Chain Platform as a whole, and then a new product that we just launched into public preview, which is called Microsoft Supply Chain Center. And that also includes IOM, which is an acronym for Intelligent Order Management, and that will be folding into Microsoft Supply Chain. Well, and then, of course, lastly is leave you with a call to action with information on how you can learn more and how you can take advantage of the Microsoft Supply Chain Platform overall. So with that, recently in November, mid-November, we had an event called Supply Chain Reimagined. And in this event, we covered a bunch of things. One is just to talk about how Microsoft is very invested into supply chain and making our customer supply chains very successful. Secondly is talk a little bit about how we're managing our supply chain and the challenges that we run into as well, just like other companies do. And then lastly, talk about how we are actually working with our customers and working on our products and innovation to help our customers in managing their supply chains overall. And we had some customers there as well as our product leaders involved in the session. This session is actually available for viewing online as well. So even though the event happened in November, you can actually view a recording as well on demand. So that's also available to you. In the event itself, there were two things that we announced. One thing was just our overall Microsoft supply chain platform altogether. And the purpose of that is really to tell our customers and our partners that we are already invested in supply chain. We've had a bunch of products that can already help you in managing your supply chain, improving your supply chain as well. And then we also, at the same time in the event, also introduced a new product called Microsoft Supply Chain Center, which we just launched into public preview that day of the event. And I'll actually talk in more detail about both of them today. So before I actually get started on our supply chain platform itself, I wanted to talk to you about why we're doing this. And it's something that we've heard a lot from our customers, is that really people that are in supply chain operations, or even have to manage technology and supply chain, they have to manage a bunch of different priorities that they need to juggle against. The first one is really just the ability to have visibility across all of their supply chain functions. Currently, and I'll talk about it a little bit more today as well, is there's a lot of functions that kind of work on its own. And then, of course, supply chains are very networked and designed. So there's many parties that they also need to work with. And sometimes to really get that end-to-end visibility is something that's hard to achieve, and people feel pressure to do that. And with that information and that visibility, that's where they can also drive the optimization and the efficiency improvements that they also need to continuously have in a very competitive world that there is today. And then, of course, the people that are in the operations and working in supply chains and working in the warehouses, working in the plants, improving their experience to make them as efficient as possible is something that is also at the back of their minds, is how do we kind of make things easier for them, make it easier for them to make decisions overall when it comes to managing their supply chain. And then, of course, just with the many different events going on in the world, especially impacting supply chains today, is being able to be more aware of risks in advance as much as possible so that they can undergo some more predictive decision making overall. And then lastly, but not leastly, just meeting the customer demands in the most sustainable, efficient, and effective way. That is something else that, of course, a lot of companies are looking to do, making things, meeting the customer's needs, of course, but then also doing that in the most sustainable way as possible. So those are different things that supply chain leaders struggle with today. And then, of course, with today's supply chain, with the many disruptions that could go on, a demand surge in a product, supply shortages, port congestion, other types of supply chain disruptions with some blockage or some other things in the transit and transportation. Resiliency is key, and our supply chain leaders that we've spoken with in the study that we got, it was pretty evident that having a resilient supply chain really makes them and keeps them ahead from a competitive perspective. And then also this having a connected architecture and infrastructure across different systems, across different silos is also something that will help them in being more resilient as a whole. But then at the same time, they also feel that today's systems aren't really built perfectly the way they needed to, where they can't have a system that's flexible enough to meet their market demands, and then they don't see a single integrated platform which has a lot of the best-in-class applications kind of running all together. Because a lot of times, some people in supply chain, they do go for some of the best-of-breed applications as well. So what we're seeing is today's supply chains are very siloed in nature. And when it comes to the different kind of phases and modules in supply chain, a lot of those modules work with different systems that work independently, sometimes with integrations, but in reality, a lot of those solutions could be working a lot more closely together. And it's more of a one-to-one integration instead of a one-to-many integration, which supply chains would be a lot more productive if they really had that one-to-many connection. And that sometimes that leads to loss in productivity and then longer lead times. And then, of course, inventory piling up in different phases of the supply chain, sometimes resulting with the bullwhip effect as a whole. Where we want to go with supply chains and where companies are wanting to go is a more connected supply chain. And you're actually seeing that in the world today, where there's so many interconnections between different partners and parties that a person works with in their supply chain. And really having those interconnected systems really make them more service levels, lower their costs, and of course be more dynamic and agile in kind of responding to the supply chain. So if you imagine the world with that visibility going end to end in the supply chain, and then a lot of the functions being optimized across that as a result of that visibility, that's where really people are looking to go and do in their supply chains overall. A big component of future supply chains, of course, is data. And that's really where Microsoft has an advantage with our overall Microsoft Cloud and our platform capabilities. So Microsoft is unique in where it has the main components from data, AI, and collaborative action perspective. So if you look at the Microsoft Cloud, there's platform components when it comes to connectors and a common data framework that we can provide across Dataverse, Synapse, Trident. We have our collaboration capabilities when it comes to Microsoft Teams. We have strong AI and analytics capabilities, not only with Power BI, but then also our Azure capabilities as well, Azure Machine Learning, for example, and many others. And then we also provide the low-code agility with our Power Platform overall, where it enables people, citizen developers, to actually configure, orchestrate, create, build applications on top of the data underpinning. And then, of course, our Cloud for sustainability, which we have to actually enable companies to have more visibility into their sustainability execution, and then, of course, make continuous improvements in sustainability. Companies are also having an issue is from going from data poor to data rich, where a lot of companies are transitioning to, is really making the best use of the data that they have. So many times companies are collecting data from many different sources, including CRMs, support solutions, partner solutions, ERP solutions, other ISV solutions, but actually channeling that information that they're collecting today and making the best decisions and collaborating in the right fashion is really where people are looking to do in the next step in their supply chain. And that's where the real-time collaboration on the workflow, for example, that also helps. And in this example, there was an issue that was detected with news capabilities with our knowledge on the products that are actually being produced, connecting the dots between the news into the product that's being produced, and then initiating a team conversation to resolve the issue. That's really a workflow type of situation that we look to enable with our Microsoft supply chain platform as well. So that's really where I talked a little bit about the Microsoft Cloud overall and how that can help. And now today I want to talk a little bit more about the Microsoft supply chain platform as well. So the Microsoft supply chain platform, as you see here, has many different components. Some components we already touched upon when it comes upon the machine learning, the Power Apps, the database tools we have, or security solutions as well. So all these solutions already exist. A few key components that have already been in the works in Microsoft for a while is also our Dynamics 365 supply chain management solution. So that has lots of capabilities to execute against your supply chain and it has been in the market for over 20 years. And the new product that we have circled here is the Microsoft Supply Chain Center. And that is the product that we just recently introduced into public preview in middle of November. So that is the latest addition to our Microsoft Supply Chain platform. Everything else that you see on this window already exists today, and you can take advantage of right now. And the goal of this and the purpose of this is really to tell you all that there are a bunch of solutions out there today that you can leverage right now to manage your supply chains, to make it more efficient, to make it work more interactively together. And then we're actually looking to augment that also with the Supply Chain Center, which I'll talk to you a little bit about today, which we recently announced as well. So, of course, let's get back to the data. I think data is really important, and data still seems to be an issue. Even though that there's a lot of data that's out there, a lot of executives still say that they lack the access to the real-time supply chain data, and that seems to be a technology obstacle for them. And in many cases, people are collecting data, but they're not really leveraging it the right way. And sometimes that turns into a data swamp in some ways where they're not really using it. They're collecting it, they're storing it, but they're not really leveraging and connecting the dots between the different data points as best as they could to make their supply chains run more efficiently. So that's where Microsoft Supply Chain Center also comes in. And in many ways, it's a ready-made command center that will help you manage your supply chain. But the key to that is it will work with your existing systems. It has a way to bring in data from existing systems that you have today. So you don't need to necessarily rip and replace anything. You can use the systems that you have, take the data from those systems that you have, put it into Microsoft Supply Chain Center, wherever you feel is relevant, and then, of course, generate the insights from there, leverage some of the first-party capabilities that we have today, and I'll get into a little bit of that as well with supply and demand insights, order management, which is actually generally available today, and smart news and data managers. And then if you think about it, there's going to be data from different ISV solutions, software solutions. There's going to be different data potentially from execution solutions like warehouse management, transportation management solutions, planning systems, ERP solutions. Even though we have our own from a first-party perspective, we also want to enable our customers to actually work with the solutions they have. And in many cases, that could be SAP or Oracle or any other ERP solution that they have. And of course, generate the insights and do their execution in their supply chain with that information that they have. And that's where the power of the platform also comes in, along with our first-party capabilities. So if you just think about the data being in one place, being able to generate the relevant insights that you need, and then also be able to respond accordingly with not only teams, but then also right back to your system, notify customers, notify other stakeholders that you have, notify your suppliers, being able to do that in a quick and automated fashion that's consistent to enable you to have consistent processes in your supply chain. You can do that with our orchestration capabilities as well. Now I'd like you to show you a video that you will actually be able to see the supply chain center come to life.
Supply chains are complex, very complex. To stay agile, global organizations need end-to-end visibility without replacing existing systems, actionable insights from real-time data, and seamless orchestration of business processes through one unifying platform. Introducing Microsoft Supply Chain Center, now in public preview. Let's dive in and see how it works. Meet Sanjana, a supply chain manager at Contoso, a global manufacturer and distributor of packaged coffee. She receives an alert on her Supply Chain Center dashboard powered by the news module about a cyber attack that could impact her suppliers and disrupt her shipments. Diving deeper, she can see actionable insights like which orders from what suppliers could be impacted and the severity of the impact. Supply Chain Center also provides her with recommendations powered by AI to mitigate the disruptions. Sanjana acts on the recommendation to prioritize orders for her large customer accounts. She sees that by selecting this recommendation, she can meet a higher service level, but it does come at a higher cost. With just a click, she can send purchase orders to her suppliers from right within the Supply Chain Center, powered by Power Automate. She doesn't need to jump between different systems to manually update the POs, saving her time to focus elsewhere. Sanjana receives updates of production plans from her suppliers periodically and securely via the supplier portal. The Supply Chain Center uses this and the other data points to provide insights into potential stockouts, overstocking, and many more metrics in near real time. Melanie, the Northwind Roasters account manager, a coffee bean supplier for Contoso, uses the supplier portal to upload her production plan. After receiving it, Sanjana notices a massive supply coverage gap on her supply and demand insights dashboard. So Sanjana quickly investigates in the supply coverage module dashboard. From right in the dashboard, Sanjana can reach out to Melanie via the embedded Microsoft Teams chat to see if she has additional inventory on hand to bridge the supply gap. Melanie confirms that she has available inventory in excess and can expedite an order for the SKU that's falling short. This ability to collaborate with external suppliers in near real time using Teams and in the context of the insights is a game changer for Sanjana and Melanie. They're twice as productive now without dealing with delayed email replies and missed voicemails. After Sanjana places her order with Melanie, she tracks the shipment via C.H. Robinson's Navisphere Vision right inside the Supply Chain Center. 2 days later, Sanjana sees an alert via Navisphere Vision that a Contoso truck transporting coffee from Northwind Roasters has been delayed due to a breakdown. This will cause a 4-day delay in the delivery to Contoso's warehouse. Because of the alert, she notifies the receiving warehouse of the delay and generates a new freight order from a different supplier. The new freight order is assigned to a carrier that can deliver on the originally requested delivery date, avoiding a potential major stockout. Once the shipment arrives, Sanjana uses the order management module to fulfill the order to her high-priority accounts, like Fabricam. Sanjana uses the out-of-the-box connector to FedEx and sets up FedEx as a shipping carrier to deliver the order to her customers. Plus, she gains fulfillment insights so that she can continue to optimize the delivery to her customers efficiently, cost-effectively, and sustainably. With Microsoft Supply Chain Center, Sanjana can take complete control of her supply chain and deliver a delightful customer experience. She can get end-to-end visibility of her supply chain, generate AI-based recommendations, and orchestrate business processes to act on these recommendations seamlessly, all without having to replace her existing systems. Microsoft Supply Chain Center enables her to do more with less. Sign up for a free trial at aka.ms/supplychaincenter.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that video. And key value propositions of the Microsoft Supply Chain Center is that really it doesn't force you to kind of rip out your existing systems. You can actually bring in your existing systems and you actually would augment them to actually work better together with the Supply Chain Center. So you can actually make more or make the most of what you have currently. And then, of course, if there's additional capabilities that you want to leverage within Supply Chain Center, we have first-party capabilities in there. You can also build on top of it as well with our Power Platform underpinning in addition to that. And of course, you can build solutions. You can actually, if you have solutions that you have already that exist, that you have built, you can bring those in as well. So it really allows you the flexibility to bring in your ISV solutions that you have created, as well as work with our first-party capabilities, including our own Dynamics supply chain management solution as well. One thing that I wanted to talk about a little bit today is also our intelligent order management solution, which is actually generally available today. It will be part of the Microsoft Supply Chain Center overall when it does go into GA, but it is available for people to purchase today and really has the same underpinnings as the Microsoft Supply Chain Center, which will make it an easy transition. So from intelligent order management perspective, the key capability is being able to be orchestrating your supply chain and optimizing your supply chain, especially fulfillment decisions, with our intelligent fulfillment and orchestration capabilities. Like Microsoft Supply Chain Center, it is a modern and open platform that works with not only our supply chain management or F&O solution, but then it also works with external ERP solutions as well. It also has the ability to connect to different providers. So if you see in this diagram, there are many different providers from a fulfillment, even from an order channel perspective, whether it's an e-commerce or a B2B portal, other things, CRM solution, we can actually connect into those solutions. And then that can provide an order coming into order management, which the order management solution can actually optimize and select the fulfillment location, select the journey of an order, the different status progressions of an order as well. It will also take advantage of our inventory visibility altogether. Our order management solution comes with inventory visibility as well. So it will help you make better decisions based on available inventory, and having that view within the order management system is a key feature as well. And then if you think about it, there's also fulfillment providers when it comes to WMS solutions and delivery providers. And what we can do with our provider ecosystem is really provide you that end-to-end visibility of an order all the way up to delivery as well. So when it's delivered to a person's house, you can actually provide that real-time status update with the tight integration that we have with many providers. And we continue to grow that list of providers as well within the intelligent order management solution. So like the Microsoft Supply Chain Center, this is a SaaS solution that's built on the Microsoft Power platform itself. So it has many of the flexibility and the low code, no code capabilities that Microsoft Supply Chain Center has as well. So you are actually able to orchestrate and make your the journey of an order very unique to your customer scenario. And that is one of the key benefits of our intelligent order management system. Not only does it have the AI capabilities for you to optimize your fulfillment decision making, but it also allows you to easily kind of configure the journey of the order, the inventory checks, the rules based on a specific customer's needs. Without actually having to do heavy customizations, which a lot of other order management systems you might have to embark upon to do. And our Power Platform really helps with that as well. And that is also a key benefit of Microsoft Supply Chain Center as well. So a lot of these solutions, when it comes to the Microsoft supply chain platform overall, is really kind of enabling you to have and manage the experience of the order going through the entire fulfillment chain. So if you just think about the beginning of an order all the way to the end, and then if you have dependencies on an order that you're fulfilling against, having that connection to a purchase order that might be connected to a transfer order, which might be connected to a fulfillment order or a sales order, that type of connection and that journey you're able to have with our orchestration capabilities with our Microsoft supply chain platform overall. So if you do have dependencies that you want to connect and then be able to respond at the right time accordingly, our orchestration capabilities can greatly help that so that your customer expectations at the end of the day, meeting the customer expectations in the best and most efficient possible way is a goal that we have, or our companies have in supply chains. And that interconnectivity and the orchestration working all together really helps with that. And our platform helps with that as well. And then, of course, the agility. So things happen and being able to adapt in your supply chain in a quick and easy fashion with that visibility is also very important. So adapting to different inventory situations, having that visibility into your inventory, and then being able to respond and make the right decisions based on that, optimizing your inventory, making use of the locations that have the inventory, making use of locations that maybe is it's actually lower cost to actually serve from, making those decisions in a quick and easy fashion with our order orchestration capabilities as well. We really want people to do that overall in their supply chain, and flexibility is key in managing today's supply chain. And then at the end of the day, like I started with in the beginning, is the resiliency in supply chains is also very important, and enabling that in the easiest way with a composable approach to being able to be flexible, build upon making the best of what you have, but then also tackling the white spaces that there are in your supply chain solutions and being able to address those by either building upon that. That's what we're looking to do with our Microsoft supply chain platform overall, and specifically Supply Chain Center as well. And then this is a kind of more detailed view of the Microsoft supply chain platform. Overall, so as you see here, these are our first-party capabilities within Microsoft, where you see the Microsoft Supply Chain Center. The order management solution is there. It's actually generally available today, so you can take advantage of that. There's also supply and demand insights, Smart News Data Manager. There's also a supplier portal and other features that you can take advantage of within the Supply Chain Center. And that's the public preview solution. And then the Microsoft Supply Chain Management solution is our existing capabilities that has a lot of depth and functions with warehouse management, sales and order management, procurement, transportation management, product lifecycle management, planning optimization. Those deep capabilities already exist today in our supply chain management solution if you want to take advantage of. And then, of course, there's the overarching platform type of capabilities, which I covered today. And then our ISV and partner solutions as well, which are very important to us as well. Another thing that I wanted to call out is if you have an existing ERP solution today, Supply Chain Center can also ingest that information from your existing ERP solution and then help you make better decisions with visibility, and then also help you make better decisions when it comes to optimization as well, and then the automation capabilities as well. Another thing that we've also seen is the integration between an existing ERP solution and even our supply chain management capabilities. So there are things like spare parts, asset management, other types of solutions within our supply chain management solution that we've seen pair up really well with existing ERP capabilities. So you're actually seeing kind of instances where there's an existing ERP solution our supply chain management solution, and our supply chain center as well, all kind of working seamlessly together as well, and with the platform capabilities underpinning it. So there's many kind of permutations and combinations available. Now, if you want to get a little bit deeper into the capabilities that our supply chain platform can provide, one is really data and the connected ecosystem and the ease of actually bringing your data that exists today. So from a platform perspective, there's existing connectors that already exist with Dataverse and our platform capabilities in Azure as well. But then also being able to streamline that and make it easier for you to map data into the common data model is what we are doing with Supply Chain Center as well. And then, of course, we want to connect those experience through planning across to your execution so that you make better decisions overall. And then, of course, connect back to the executions or even the planning systems as well. And then, of course, allowing you to drive innovation through the low-code, pro-code capabilities that we have so that you're easily able to also, with the data being in one place, you're also able to actually build upon it or orchestrate on that data that you have in one place. The other thing is, of course, visibility. So once you have the data in one place, reducing risk with that improved visibility is very much top of mind to companies as well. So capabilities like improving forecast accuracy with machine learning, predicting stockouts, and then also being able to recommend things that you might want to do to actually avoid stockouts or serve your customers in a better, quicker fashion. You're able to do that. And then, of course, prediction of supplier constraints that there might be based on kind of other external feeds that you're getting in and AI capabilities so that you're actually being able to be a little bit more proactive. So if you think of that, being able to predict the constraints and then being able to take a quick and swift action against those constraints, that's something else that we're able to do with the supply chain platform capabilities overall. Agility is very important in really staying competitive. So if you actually see some kind of disruption or can see some kind of risk, being able to quickly and swiftly respond is very important. That's where a lot of our power platform capabilities or execution capabilities also come into play. And then also the interconnectivity between the different solutions. So it's not only the data being connected, but then also being able to connect the actions. So if you're seeing something and being able to trigger an action in the within Supply Chain Center to another system of execution, we want to make that a little bit more automated and seamless. And then, of course, there might be areas where you might not want to automate the action and you might want to actually initiate a conversation. And that's where that Teams integration also comes into place. So that all allows you to really be able to make better decisions, being able to kind of change capacity, as well, when it comes to warehouse in a box type of capabilities. We're able to provide that with our platform. Overall, being able to adapt to changing conditions with running MRP multiple times in a day, just to deal with demand changes that might fluctuate during the course of the day, being able to make the right inventory decisions at the right location. And then also being proactive in mitigating fulfillment delays, or if you actually see a delay using an ISV, in this example, there was a shipment delay, and being able to react quickly with our orchestration capabilities is something that we want to enable our customers to be able to do with our Microsoft supply chain platform. And then efficiency and productivity. So that I mentioned in the beginning when we were talking about different things that we're seeing and kind of improving the worker experience is also very important. So there's different ways, of course, to do that. One way is actually with robotics, and you can maybe see some of the videos with a robot in a warehouse, our warehouse in a box capabilities as well, being able to give the right insights to the operational folks for them to be able to make better decisions. That's another way to improve efficiency and productivity. Having holographic work instructions on maybe fixing a machine, for example, will make it easier for them as well, where it's less prone to error, or maybe they don't have to be an expert. They can actually rely on the instructions for that. Improving the execution on a production floor with embedded teams collaboration, and then also predicting failures in assets and being able to repair them in time, and then connect that with, of course, other solutions like procurement capabilities. So you have your spare parts ready at the right time when you're predicting a failure potentially as well when it comes to a machine. So all those things actually help the operations workers be more efficient in managing their supply chain. And then lastly is sustainability. So creating a sustainable and secure value chains is very top of mind for us as well. Security is key in underpinning of the overall platform. With our cybersecurity or endpoint security capabilities that are foundational to our Microsoft Cloud and all of our solutions overall. But then also things like driving circularity in the supply chain overall, making it easier to return with no box returns being accepted, with integrations into a solution like FedEx, so that you can actually go to a store, make a return without necessarily having to package it up. So in many ways, it reduces packaging, consolidating returns, making the return journey more efficient and optimized. And then, of course, figuring out ways to actually repurpose things that are being returned in a more sustainable and efficient way. Those are all things that you can do in the supply chain to make it more sustainable. And of course, that is very much top of mind for many of our customers, and leveraging the Microsoft Supply Chain Platform. And then, of course, our Microsoft Cloud for Sustainability from an overall platform perspective can be leveraged for that as well. And then, of course, our partner ecosystem is critical and very important. So these are the partners that we actually launched our Supply Chain Reimagined event with from a Microsoft platform perspective. We also work with many other partners as well, and we're looking to continue to evolve our partner ecosystem. And thanks to all of our partners that work with us today, as well as those that will work with us in the future to make our supply chain platform a lot stronger over time. So now I wanted to leave this presentation with a call to action for you. You can actually get started with the free trial of the Microsoft Supply Chain Center today with accessing the link that is in this content today. You can also get a guided tour of our supply chain management solution, which is our existing supply chain management capabilities that we have today. And then also, if you're actually interested in learning more about the Microsoft Supply Chain Platform, you can go to the site, and it has a lot of information, including videos, demos, customer stories, and more information about the entire platform. So thank you for your time today. Now I'll leave it open for some question and answers.